Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Mom Show. We have Felecia Williams in the house, certified life coach. Wave hi, Felecia. Please say hi. Wave. Okay, so I'm just bringing her in, letting you guys see her face to face for a moment, and we're gonna bring her out of studio just for a moment, and I'm gonna talk to you guys briefly about what's coming up. So tonight we are back and we are talking about momentum and we're talking about openness. So if you remember in our very first set of videos, we were really focusing on mindfulness, openness, and momentum. And we have brought together such amazing women throughout the Caribbean over the last, how many episodes now we're going? About 7 episodes. And Felecia is the perfect addition to this, I would say, tribe of women who can speak to really pressing that reset button on 2020. Because if you're feeling like me, I think you may feel like you need to do a full battery pull on 2020. So without further ado, I want to welcome Felecia into our studio. What's going
Hello.
on?
Hi, Anika. I'm good. How are you?
Hi. I'm so happy that you're here.
Let me tell you,
Want
thank
to
you
say good
so
night.
much. Good night. Good night. Let
Want
me
to say
tell
good
you.
night to some of these ladies.
Oh, hi.
Vanita.
Vanita.
Vanita. And Portia. Portia, you're back. Hi, Portia. Please tell us where you're viewing from, by the way, ladies. We are currently broadcasting to Trinidad, Barbados, of course, Jamaica, and throughout the rest of the Caribbean. So Felecia, tell me, you are a certified life coach, but you also specialize in career coaching, purpose coaching, and parent coaching.
That's right.
I'm curious about the parent coaching. Tell me a little bit more about that.
All right. So listen, I am a mommy, right? I'm
Mhm.
Anika. I was probably one of your first member of your community.
I think
I
you
have
were,
to.
yeah. You probably were one of
So
the first island moms.
yes, I know. Listen, I'm a mommy of two 8-year-olds, right? And one of the
Mhm.
things that is really real to me as I went into my coaching passion, is what I call it, is parenting, and parenting wholeheartedly, and parenting from a place of not just openness, but from a place where your child is a human being with complete thoughts and desires all on their own, and they don't have to take on what we say they should take on or do the activities that we think they should do, but they can make those decisions. And I know that parents just struggle with that, and I
Mhm.
usually help them kind of think through that process and just make sure that they are raising children that God gave us all to kind of just transition into adulthood anyway.
Mhm. Mhm. I love that you are taking the coaching into parenting. I
Yes.
think all of us need a coach every now and again.
Yeah, girl, I need one too.
Definitely. Well, I mean, coaches need coaches. That goes
Absolutely.
without saying, eh? Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, it definitely goes without saying. I want to drop your handle into the ticker. So if anybody wants to follow Fel, and I know her a little better than most of you, so I get to call her Fel. But
Yes.
if you want to follow Felecia, you can follow her at these handles right here. But okay, so I have a few questions because tonight is really about doing some goal setting work
Right.
and showing the moms how they can actually put some things into practice. But what I wanted to ask you about first is like, what are some of your personal victories with goal setting? Has it actually worked for you?
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you how I love goal setting. So the first time somebody tell me about a vision board, I literally rolled my eyes. I'm like, what kind of nonsense is this? That was my first. And then when somebody got me to go to a vision boarding kind of party, I was like very skeptical about it. But as
Mm-hmm.
I did my own work, and I'm a planner by nature, right? I like to plan
Right.
things out. So as I got more exposed to vision boarding and visioning, I realized the art in it, and I realized that it works. So now I've been kind of doing vision boarding every year now for the past 3-4 years, right? I do not
Mm-hmm.
start my year without a vision board activity, right? If it work,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you how it work. I put these things on the board, and usually I do a series of activities, and I've learned to do that now over the years. A series of
Mm-hmm.
activities before cutting pretty pictures and pasting them down on cartridge paper, right? I do a couple of things first, but once I get to the
Right.
stage of doing it, um, it is
Mm-hmm.
always amazing, Anika, to see how the things come to light. I'm going to tell you, like my business. I started when it's actually, I would say it's been about 3.5 years now since I've been a coach fully.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and 3.5 years ago, I did a vision board, and I said, this is what I want my coaching business to be. And I started
Mm-hmm.
my coaching business that year. I actually
Mm-hmm.
went and got certified. And I remember thinking to myself, why is a coaching certification so expensive? That's what I was thinking. I cannot afford it because this is like MBA money. And I said to myself, I cannot do this. I can't
Mm-hmm.
afford this with young children and, you know what I mean, new expenses. I just couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, after my meditation practice and praying and stuff, it's almost like a still small voice said to me, why don't you look for a scholarship? Like that didn't
Ah.
even cross my mind that I could explore scholarships for a coaching
Mm-hmm.
certification. I did it, and I
Right.
got it, and 3.5 years later, the
Mm-hmm.
rest is history, they'll say.
The rest is history,
So
or her story.
very so much so. So that is one big thing, Anika, I can tell you that
Mm-hmm.
it's and I do it for my business as well. So I do it for my
Mm-hmm.
business and I do it for my personal life, and I swear by it. Guys, do your vision boarding, man, and be careful. You have to be so careful what you're visioning for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that.
I'm laughing because I can tell you that you're. I always say this, that you have to be careful what you pray for. And you have to be careful what you set your intention for. That's number
Yes.
one. Number two being that it will show itself, or it will appear in different ways. So for me, my experience with goal setting or prayer is also that you don't necessarily get what you pray for, but you get the opportunity to bring it to you.
Yes.
So
I
an
love
opportunity
that.
will present itself. That's what I have found. And
Yes.
then second to that is that I have found, just with personal experience, like everything that I have wanted to do from the last 5 years with Island Mom, I'm doing it right now.
Wow.
But I didn't expect it in this moment with COVID, which is kind of
Right.
nuts, like, you know?
Wow.
And
That's the
then
same thing,
when you
Anika.
think about
Wow.
this, I mean, Fel, you know, I've lost clients. I have lost
Yeah.
clients over time, with my marketing business, but it has pushed me into a space where now I am focusing more on the brand coaching, which is what I wanted to do
In the
last
first
year.
place.
So
Wow.
it's like, okay, you've asked for this, here it is.
Here it is. Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the amazing
So it does
thing.
work, eh?
It does. And I like what you said, Anika, about um, the opportunities come to you and you have to make the decision to take them.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Or
that.
you know what? It could also be, and I think this is this is kind of going into that next question in terms of mindset, because I think the biggest thing is that people need to be able to recognize when the opportunities present
Right.
themselves. That's the hardest part, isn't it?
I find so, especially, and I can tell you just based on my clients, it is the hardest part. The mental strength
Mm-hmm.
that you need, and putting away just the negative mindset is very difficult to do. The truth is, we practice. We know that muscle very well. We know the
Mm-hmm.
muscle that, oh my God, doom and gloom, COVID is here. I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere. Lord, to pick me them. It's just always,
Yep.
it's so easy for us to use that negative muscle and so
Mm-hmm.
hard for us to kind of see that silver lining, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's where the positive mindset, that's where the strength and the mental strength will come from, is looking for the silver lining behind every dark cloud, because there is a silver lining. And it's
Mm-hmm.
always the way, it's your perspective, it is the way you are looking at a situation and deciding that this is how you're going to take it in. So yes, COVID sucks. Who
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know that, right? But
Right.
instead of just kind of complaining that you can't go anywhere and you have to wear these awful masks and I can't wear my lip gloss or my lipstick and blah 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 blah, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could also look at it as an opportunity to grow ourselves and grow our business, and to stop for a minute, because for so long we've been just going and going. And I know
Yeah.
moms do not know how to not sacrifice. I know that's like a double
Oh,
negative,
we've been
but
talking about this.
girl, that's all we do. We know to do that so well. So now when we look
Yeah.
at COVID and what COVID caused for us, then we go,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I can take a minute though. I
Right.
can take a minute. So that's
Mm-hmm.
so important. It's about how look at things, and how do you search for the silver lining. That's one
Mm-hmm.
thing about visioning and vision boarding, or even the law of attraction, which is where the whole idea around vision board really comes from,
Exactly.
is
Mm-hmm.
if you think negative, you will attract negative.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Mm-hmm.
think positive and look for positives, that's what you will attract. It's so
Right.
important. And there's no magic to it. I used to roll
Mm-hmm.
my eyes at it though, but it's
Mm-hmm.
so true. It's so
Can I
true.
say something? Because this popped into my head while you were just speaking about a post that I saw from a woman who I follow on social media. And she was talking about love. And we're talking about law of attraction. And she was saying, just based on her personal story, she started shifting her mindset away from focusing on the men she did not want. No, the
Wow.
problem was for her, when you stop focusing on the men that you don't want, you're still thinking about them. Like you're still obsessing with, no, I don't want that. I
I'm
don't
not
deserve
thinking.
this.
Mhm.
But instead, if you shift the mindset into you and what you are deserving and of love,
Yes.
and you shift out
Yes.
that focus of being in love with yourself, then love will be attracted to you.
That's it.
Hmm.
Isn't that amazing? So
It's
the thing
beautiful,
is,
yeah.
we need to know what it is that we want. You know
Hmm.
what I find, Anika? I find through my clients, the clients I work with, when I ask them, what do you want? They talk about what they don't want.
Oh, that is so profound.
And
Wow.
then I have to say, okay, I hear you, but
Hmm.
what is it that you want to replace that with? Because one
Hmm.
thing is sure, if you decide, for example, we're talking about a man in this situation, if you decide that these are not the men you want, and
Hmm.
that's all that's in your head, this is not it, this is not it, this is not it. Okay, what is it that you want? What are
Yeah.
you replacing that with?
Hmm.
I call this
Hmm.
remove and replace. Remove and replace. If you don't want something, remove it from your mindset and
Hmm.
replace it with something.
It's like the search thing in Microsoft
There
Word.
you go. There you go. There you go.
Autocorrect.
Autocorrect. That's it.
Wow, that's how you guys feeling in the comments. Drop us a line in the comments with how you feeling about this conversation so far, because I'm loving it. I want to big
Yeah.
up Mira. Hi Mira. And Marie. Marie is fritters with our Brunswick sardine, yes, girl. And I want to say hi to Mira, especially because Mira was our first guest for this second season of the Mom
Nice.
Show. She shared such a wonderful story. So yeah, we're getting some good responses, loving it. So my son has decided to touch me on my shoulder. One second. What happened? What you doing? This is mommy.
Yes, it
What's
is.
that one? Dude. Okay, no, go upstairs and TV then, dude. Please. Like, we have a dialogue about this before, and then, and now he's upset. Can I just bribe him? You want to play video games? Oh, look on the face change. Okay, go play some video games. Okay, I just
Yes.
can't manage. Like, we select the battles, right?
Yes, we do. We do. We have to.
Wow. Oh yes, there's so much magic in this conversation. Focus on the positive and create that mirror. You are a master of that. I have to
Yes.
tell you, this lady, she has such an incredible story. So I have some more questions, a couple more before we get into this
Shoot,
practice.
no problem. I love the
Okay.
questions.
So in terms of, let's see, how can you simplify the goal setting process? Like, is it that you need to have an action plan? How does it work? Like, what are the steps?
Well, we're going to definitely go through that, right? I hope we have
Mm-hmm.
time to do that. But if we don't hear it at the top of the hour, let me tell you, if you try any of these things, guys, it will work and change your life. I hope I'm not frozen. Am I good, Anika?
No, I think we're okay. Whatever happened, we're good. Yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you. Something happened,
beautiful.
but we're
Yeah,
fine.
something to. All right. So
Okay.
the first thing, guys, you need to know your anchor. You need your anchor. You need to know your why. Why are you here? And sometimes we don't know immediately, and that's why people are like, I don't know my purpose. I'm just trying to pay my bills. I'm just trying to go to work. What is this purpose thing, and what is this why thing you're talking about? Let me tell you how
Mm-hmm.
it works, guys. If you make the best of your current situation and the current situation that you're in, and you do everything in it to make sure that it's meaningful, make sure that you're impacting lives, whatever it is, it could be a janitor mopping the floors, it does not matter. You can impact the world. So you make sure that you know in the current situation that you're in, that you know your why. Why are you getting up every day? Why are you trying to work
Mm-hmm.
so hard? Why are you sitting in traffic? Why are you putting on the mask and you hate it and you're claustrophobic? Just why? You must
Mm-hmm.
know how to articulate that why. After that becomes your
Mm-hmm.
anchor, and it becomes your anchor for every single thing you do after that. Right? So that's very important. The second thing you want to do is understand what are your objectives. So you want to write those down. What are you trying to accomplish this year, in 2020, in the next 6 months? What are you trying to accomplish in 2 years, 5 years, whatever the time period is? It's up to you. Make short-term objectives, medium ones, and long-term ones, and just do that.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, guys, that's when you get into the meat. Now you know who you are and what you're working towards and what the plan is. And then you get to the breaking it down. And that's my favorite part, breaking it down to a point where they become bite size, actionable steps that you can take to get it done. If you don't do that, they're just dreams and desires inside of your head. That's all they
Mm-hmm.
are. There's a great thing about your subconsciousness that I love to talk about. When you take an idea out of your subconsciousness, out of your mind, and put it on paper, you tell your subconsciousness that you're going to start working towards it being finished. You're working towards that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a goal. Your subconsciousness now believe you. But before, when you kept it up here, your subconsciousness just saying, okay, this is just a nice thought, and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, there's nothing like writing
It's
it
nothing
down.
but a thought.
It's
Mm-hmm.
nothing but a thought. When you take it out of your
Mm-hmm.
mind and write it down and start cutting pictures and putting on your vision board, it becomes something. Your subconsciousness starts seeing what you said earlier, Anika, those opportunities that you did
Mm-hmm.
not see before, but suddenly
Mm-hmm.
they're there.
For me, I've identified them, or I call them breadcrumbs now. It's
Yes.
almost as if like the universe or God or however you want to name this divine intervention is dropping breadcrumbs, always dropping breadcrumbs, but you have to know when to spot them
Yeah.
and how to follow them.
Right. But let me tell you, if you don't
Mm.
write them down,
I love
Anitra,
that.
if you don't write them down, you won't spot them. You won't even know they're
Hmm.
there. You're walking on your breadcrumbs and you don't even know.
Wow. Whoa. I felt you're walking on them. Damn. I felt that one like in my butt.
Belly button.
How many how many breadcrumbs have you guys been stepping
There you
on?
go.
No man, Phil, you're bringing in some spirit into this conversation tonight.
You feel it.
I am feeling it.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Okay. So since you also specialize as a parent coach, or you specialize in parent coaching, so tell me the connection between your goal setting and parenting. What's the connection right there?
So I always say to parents, you plan for yourself, you plan
Mm-hmm.
for the organization that you work in, you plan
Mm-hmm.
for a great vacation, you plan or not, but in
Mm-hmm.
some situations you have to plan, right? You plan
Mm-hmm.
what direction you will drive in to get to work, to avoid traffic, whatever. Why wouldn't you plan for your children in every area of their lives? So not just their where they're going to go to college and which school they're going to go to or high school they're going to go to. Not just that, and what clothes and how much you're going to spend on clothes. No. How about planning for their emotional well-being? What do you want your child to show up as an adult? Do you know
Mm-hmm.
that you
Mm-hmm.
model, you are just modeling the person that your child will become,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So,
Ooh.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we show up as these very interesting human beings that other human beings do not want to be around. And our
Ooh.
children, they are seeing
Mm-hmm.
it. And then they're going to model that in as a child and as a teenager and as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so very important for us to model what we want our children to be. Similarly, if you are just going through life and hoping for the best, you know what your children are
Mm-hmm.
going to do?
Same thing.
Go through life and hope for the best,
Hope
unless
for the
they have
best.
a different model. If they have a different model, then thank you, Jesus. But if they don't, that's what's going to
Mm-hmm.
happen. If you are
I got
unhappy
you.
in your job, and every day
Mm-hmm.
you come home unhappy in this job, your child is going to think it's okay to be unhappy, doing things they don't want to do when they really
Right.
could choose the best things for themselves as they get older. So, what are you modeling?
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest thing for me in parenting. And not just that, it's just wholehearted parenting. How do we really connect with our children in a way that allow them to be themselves and allow them to
Mm.
choose, and we accept them for who they are and not for who we think they should be?
Woo! Man. Wow. Oh my God, take us to church tonight, Phil. You know what you just reminded me of? You know Khalil Gibran,
Yes.
the poet Khalil Gibran, and his it's from the prophet. He writes about your children
Yeah.
and your children not being your children. Your children
Right.
are basically they are the arrow, but you are the bow. You know, you're
Yes.
the one.
Oh,
I mean, guys, you want something like you want a nice, good wake up call after this experience tonight? Read, and I'm sure you can find it anywhere on the net. Look for The Prophet by Khalil Gibran and read his excerpt on your children. It's absolutely moving.
yeah.
But what you
Love
just
that.
said, it struck a chord with me.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
important,
Woo.
parents. It's so important. And that's why, let me tell you, sometimes we believe, especially as Caribbean people, we believe
Mhm.
that we shouldn't get help for things. There's nothing
Mm.
wrong with getting help. You don't have all the answers. We all didn't get a parent book when we left the hospital, right?
Mhm.
And we certainly didn't get it when they became teenagers. I don't know if you have
Mhm.
parents with teenagers now, but I know that's a stage.
Whew.
Yeah,
I'm
girl.
like, wow. I'm like,
Yeah.
God bless my mother. I'm
Yes.
feeling it.
No, man. So let me tell you,
Yeah.
we don't get these books, but we can
Mhm.
get help, and we can get people who can help us and hold us accountable, and help us make parenting easier, not just for ourselves, but for children. But it's hard.
Mhm. It's oh, it's very easy. The
Yeah.
other day, actually, put out a post on Island Mom asking moms to say what they would say to their pre-baby self.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, what would be your truth? Yeah, what would be your truth to your pre-baby self? And for me, one of the ones that I had put out there was that breastfeeding. This thing doesn't come naturally. Mm-mm. That was no. We can do a whole thing on just that.
Can I tell you,
But
when you're ready to do it, I'm ready to talk about that because it's twins I had. I was like,
oh my,
I'm ready to be done. Can somebody take these
oh,
children off of me, please? I'm done.
oh
I'm done.
wow. Yeah, no. Sandy's asking if I will laugh so much because we're enjoying ourselves, Sandy. Load you up. Loading you up. But okay, so we're ready to get into the actual practice for tonight,
Yeah.
which is really on resetting or pressing reset on 2020.
Yes.
So I'm gonna hand it over to you, Phil, but I'm right here. I'm right here with
Okay.
you.
No problem. Okay, no problem. Okay, ladies, can I say, I have to tell you, this is one of my favorite things to talk about, um, is goal setting. I really strongly believe in it. And if you guys take anything that I say today and just take the steps and do it, I can guarantee you it's life changing. So there are four things that I always say to my clients when we're doing goal setting is: one, you must vision. You have to vision first, right? After you vision, you do a plan. Once you do your plan, you make very clear steps. And the final stage is to move. It's so simple, right? Four steps. Four steps I want you to remember. The first one, visioning. When you start to vision, I want you to vision in 3D. I don't want you to do these abstract thinking. I want you to think, if you have a goal, and if your goal, we're going to talk about a red car tonight as your goal. If your goal is to get a red Honda Civic, one of those nice hatchback ones that just have leather seats and it's just amazing inside, if that's your car, we're just going to pretend that's your car. That's the goal today. I want you to envision it. I want you to see yourself in it. And in the visioning exercise, it will require you to go sit in an actual red Honda Civic. I want you to sit in it. I want you to look in the engine like you're really going to buy it. I want you to take it for a test run. That's 3D visioning, guys. No joke. I want you to take this visioning to the next level. No abstract thinking. Trust me, if you abstract think, then it just becomes an idea. It stays as a dream. But we're going to do it in 3D. In your visioning stage, though, I always say put a little prayer and meditation in it and some really wise decisions financially. Because listen, it's not just all about the fluff in your head and this nice red car that you want, but there's more. How are you going to get to it? Which leads me to the plan. What is your plan? How are you going to get this car? I know after you left the car mart, you're now thinking, oh my gosh, can my salary afford this? I'm going to go on the internet. I'm going to put in the cost and I'm going to figure out my monthly payment. Once I figure out the monthly payment, I'm going to call my banker and say, hey, can I do this? You're going to start doing. You know what's going to happen next? Every single time you leave your house, you're going to see red Honda Civics with leather seats. Every
It's true.
single time.
I had to jump in here. It's so true.
Every single
Those are
time.
the breadcrumbs, guys.
Yes. Every single time you leave your yard, you're going to see a red Honda Civic with leather seat. And you're going to be like, did people just start buying Honda Civic? No, they didn't. Because now you're seeing opportunities. That's what and you could call it your breadcrumbs. These are now your opportunities coming into full focus. Before, the red Honda Civic was in your blind spot. I call it my blind spot. I can't see it. You know what a blind spot is? You're driving in your car and you're trying to go left and you didn't see another car over on your left. And so you're going over and you're like, crap, I'm about to have an accident because I just saw the car.
Yeah.
Well, your Honda Civic is in your blind spot. But when you start doing things, it starts to come into full focus. And suddenly you can see it out of the side part of your eyes. You know what that is? We call those opportunities, right? So start thinking and visioning in 3D and then planning. How are you going to get there? What are you going to do to get there? If you stop at just looking at the Honda Red Civic that's on that lot, then you have given up on yourself and your goals and your dreams. Don't give up. Because the third step is you're going to now add steps. You're going to make it clear. You're going to plan for the plans that you made. You know what I mean? You're going to just be very clear. I'm going to do step 1, step 2, step 3. If I come up on something that stops me, I'm going to pivot. And that's one of the things I want to talk about today as well, is pivoting. I'm going to get to it. But we have to make really clear steps as to what's next. The fourth one, which is the most important one, and it's the one that many of us fail at, is moving, is doing it, is stepping out, because we're afraid. We're afraid, and that same negative mindset that we were talking about earlier takes over. It tells us that we're not good enough and we don't deserve this red car, and how are we going to afford this red car, and blah, 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 blah. And so we start to talk ourselves out of our own worthiness. We start to talk ourselves out of the things that we deserve. Maybe somebody going to think, boy, if I drive this to work, people going to bad mind me. We tell ourselves a bag of things.
So many.
Yes, and stop ourselves from experiencing the things that we should experience, guys. So I want us to think of those 4 steps. The first thing is visioning, and we're going to vision in 3D. We're going to plan. We're going to make clear steps after we plan. That means that we're going to plan for the plan. And finally, we're going to move. Don't forget those things. All right? So when I do vision boarding, and I usually do a mommy vision boarding every year at around February. And I created this vision board activity called SOAR. And one of the things I take into consideration are all the steps I took when I'm visioning. And I'm telling you that vision boarding worked because I do it every single year, right? And every time I put things on that board, guys, no joke, I'm not even trying to fake it. No, it just worked. So why would I stop? But these are the steps that you must take before jumping on it. And I'm going to challenge you. So I hope you have your pen and your paper and you're ready to write this down. The first thing I want you to write down, ready? I want you to think of a big, hairy, audacious goal. Funny enough, your big, hairy, audacious goal, that's actually a business term. It is a term used in business for an idea so grand and so expensive and so out of this world that how can we afford to do it? Well, I'm challenging you guys to write down a big, hairy, audacious goal. It is a goal so big that It's impossible. The reason why I challenge people to this goal is because it breaks away the limitations that we put on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we were brought up to not dream big. We were told, be humble, as if dreaming big is, you can't get humility out of dreaming big, which is a lie. But we tell our parents and our grandparents and society tell us to keep it down. Don't be so much.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that became
Yes.
That's almost an insult, you know.
Yes.
You're too enough.
You're too enough.
You're too enough.
Yes. Exactly, Anika. And so we don't dream big. And so from a very early age, we have limitations. So I always say when I say to my clients, what's your big dream? Oh, I like a nice little house. Yeah, that's not a nice big dream. That's a normal dream. You should have that dream.
Right.
But what's the dream so big? And I'm gonna. I had two clients after they saw the mummy event. My first one was 2019. I remember one of my clients, she wrote down our big, hairy, audacious goal. And I encourage her, do not make it small, make it big. 4 months later, I was standing in her big, hairy, audacious goal.
Oh, nice.
4 months, guys.
Nice.
4 months. 1 year after that event, I had the second staging, right? This was this year. Another mommy said to me, Fel, and she brought her old sore book, and she said, Fel, I did my big, hairy, audacious goal this year. I went to school and completed an overseas school, and she's a single mom, and completed her dream certification and degree. And I was like, wow, this is your big, hairy, audacious goal. She said, yes, I didn't know I could do it because I didn't have the money to do it. And I didn't know how I was going to do this and send my child to school. I'm a single mom, a no dad. And she did it. There's an importance when you take those big, hairy, audacious goals out of your head and write them down. And remember, you're going to write them down in 3D. Not a sentence. You must describe them and feel them and think about them and know how you're going to sit in that red car. You're going to feel it.
I want to point out something from Sandy Cates saying that she saw, well, no, this is not the comment I wanted. It was this one, that vision boarding was on TV today.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, listen, that's a breadcrumb for you. If
there you
you're
go.
on TV and now you're here, chances are it's time that you start doing your vision boarding.
Yes, girl. Do your vision boarding.
And a comment here from Nadia.
Hi, Nadia.
Oh, you know Nadia as well. She's an island mom as well.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yes. Meek shall inherit the earth. Yes, it's true.
Yes.
Eating.
Yes, listen. All those things are true. The meek shall inherit the earth, but that doesn't mean you can't dream big. And that doesn't mean you can't have big goals. And then when our children tell us that they want to be bakers and swim teachers and astronauts and presidents and prime ministers, you go be all of those things. Do not tell them that you can only choose 2 things. Do all of them.
But
because at that age, sorry, Anika, at that age, they need to know. At that age, they need to know that the world is their oyster. They need to know that possibilities are endless. But when you curb it too early, then they stop dreaming early.
Right.
You had something to say, Anika.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is I think there's a difference between dreaming big and having that audacious goal and having a big personality.
Yeah.
And frankly, also being an asshole.
Yes. No.
There's a difference. Like coming back to the meek shall inherit the earth. Like it also speaks to humility, you know, and being grateful. Okay, so Sandy, we need to. Yes, there are tree frogs. I have. She's been in the comments. Like she's been in the comments. There are tree frogs.
There
My
are tree frogs.
cricket/tree frogs. Them make one bag of noise.
That's funny. That's very funny. I
Yes.
love that.
So continue, Phil. Continue.
Yes, guys. So just to close off that big, hairy, audacious goal, make sure you write those down, guys. Write down one big goal for the next 6 months. It may not be possible, but it does not matter.
That's
No
true. That's
limitations.
so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. We tend to not write it down when we think, no, I can't do this within 6 months. That's so
Yeah.
true. And then we just stop ourselves right there.
Exactly. Don't do it, guys.
Mhm.
I really encourage you to just push past it. Now, after you've written down your big, hairy, audacious goal, I'm going to ask you to do one other thing, which is pretty time consuming. So we won't be able to do it tonight, but write this down. I want you to do a goal dump.
Mhm.
Right? We're going to dump every single possible goals that you have or had that's not achieved yet. Every single one. Just write them down. And what you
Yeah.
can do, what I have done, is put them in categories. So, for example, we have 6 months for the rest of 2020.
Right.
Put your 6 month goals, your goals that you should have started already in 2020, and you only have less than 6 months to go. I want you to write down all of those goals.
Mhm.
If you have if you have 1 year goals or 5 year, whatever your categories are, it's up to you. You write down those goals, right? And then the next step is I want you to actually give me a commitment level on your 6 months goal and your 1 year goals. Between
Mhm.
1 and 10, the numbers 1 to 10, I want you to choose how committed are you to this goal. So 1 to 10. So if you say, I want to get this red Honda Civic with leather seats and leather steering wheel and whatever lights on the trimmings, whatever, that's my 3D
We're
visioning
not
for you.
sponsored by Honda
No.
yet. But
No,
since
but
you are
I'm a
calling them
Honda
up,
girl.
you are calling them up into the chat and
That's right.
dropping those breadcrumbs. Yet.
That's right, girl. I'm a Honda girl, but I want you to say how committed are you to this particular goal, right? Now, if you have a commitment level that's less than 8, guys, that means you're not committed and you're not interested in this goal. So feel free to take it off. But if you really want this goal to come to fruition, then you must put 8 and above on it, or don't waste your time. It won't come true. I can guarantee it. If it's less than 8, you have no interest in it up here.
Got you.
All right, got it. So the next thing you're gonna do, because you have to give me a time check, Anika. But
we're doing good.
We're doing
good, man.
Good. The next thing I want you guys to do is then look at the top 5 goals that you have a high commitment level at, your top 5 ones. And I want you to write down what you're going to do tomorrow towards that goal. Tomorrow, not next week, not Sunday, but tomorrow. So if it's that client that you need to talk to that you've been kind of dragging your legs on, I want you to write down to call this company to speak to this person tomorrow at 2:00. That's how we get specific about our goals. That's how we stay on point with our goals. We even plan in 3D. I don't want I may just call the help desk and maybe they will help me. No. I want you to be very specific about who you're gonna call. And I want you to do that for 5 of your goals. Tomorrow we're talking about, not the next day, like I said. All right? Once, guys, you have that, you're on your way to creating your vision board. So one thing before you want to do your vision board, I'm going to hold this up and hopefully you can see it. So first you want to set up, right before your vision board, you want to set up your page like this, right? And then you want to divide this. I'll hold it up again so you can
Yeah,
see it.
show them again,
There
please.
you go. Right? So you want to divide your page in 4, right? In one corner, you want to put the relationships you want to improve. Maybe it's with your children or your spouse or your girlfriends or whatever. But since these are all moms, I would put your parenting relationship in one, right? The other one, you can put your maybe your spiritual goals, right? This is very important. When we dream as well, guys, we have to dream in balance. We need balance, y'all. Moms, you need balance. I know I have to do that every day. I have to figure out how to balance my life, right? So we have to dream in balance too, right? So what's our spiritual goal, right? Then I want us to put down what is our maybe educational goal, just how do we improve ourselves, right? And then right here, you're going to put your material goals. So you see how we're breaking. It's not all material, but we have spiritual, we have relationship, we have self, we have everything in there. We have to dream in balance. Cool? I hope everybody got that.
I make notes, I never press the button.
Right. So guys, that's very important. Once you do that, then you can always go to your magazines and get your glitter and get your sparkly papers and get your cartridge paper. For me, I am very stouche. I put my vision board on a cork
Is that
tile.
cork? It's cork.
It is
Yes.
cork. Right? So I put it on a cork tile, but only because I stouche, right? But you don't need that. You can find cartridge paper. And do it there. And that's when you go in and start to really cut and paste. But now you have a direction. Now you have your anchor. Now you know what the goals are. Now you know what direction you're going to go. And I love when we are clear about our plans. So can you imagine when you put all of those stuff on a vision board now, and you put your vision board someplace that you can see it, right? And you're going to see it every day. So that's the magic about vision boarding, is that now your mind is reminding you of the things that you should be working towards.
Right.
I have to tell you guys, when I did my plans for this year, one of the things that I wanted to really jump into was parenting. And I wanted to really start working, not just to coach parents, but to do other things and create content for them and so on. And I wrote that down in November. And right as COVID kind of starting to pick up steam, a friend of mine who is a business coach called me up and she said, "Hey, Fel, TVJ, which is a local television station, wanted somebody to do some interviews about homeschooling. Would you come?" I went with her. We did the interview. And after that interview, we started Parent Power. For the past 6 months, we have been supporting parents in a parenting group almost every week, just going through things that they're going through because of COVID. It was birthed only because of COVID, and we continue to support them because of that. Now I'm coaching more parents. Isn't that amazing? Like I attracted that to myself.
Love it.
You see that, Anika?
Manifestation.
There you go. So listen, the Bible said, if you don't have a plan or a vision, the people perish. Nothing that we're saying is just kind of floating up in the air, right? If you're a Christian, this is what the Bible speaks about, right? It's the truth. We're not playing around. If you have a vision, if you have a plan, you write it down, you make it plain, you make it known. make it plain and make it known. So I
I
wanted
like that.
there's so much more that guys that I usually go through when I'm doing my source sessions with moms that tonight won't allow me to give you every single thing. But I'd love, love, love to hear from you guys. If you don't mind, just drop me. You can drop me an email and I can send you some additional tips. You're also, yeah, I'll send you some additional tips and also information about the vision boarding session for moms. But it's such a rich session that moms come back every single year and say to me, Fel, thank you so very much.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
We're gonna have to do a partnered up vision boarding solar
Yes,
session with the island moms.
absolutely.
We have to. You want me to put
Absolutely.
your email in the comments? I
Yes,
can drop it
yes,
right now. Is it the
yes.
Vision Me Now?
It is Felecia at visionmenow.com.
Let me make sure I type everything good. At visionmenow.com.
Now, I see your comment, Nadia. My son is 13 and still wants to do 5 things. I'm still saying go for it. Why not? Absolutely. Do not clip his wings or limit him at
Mm-hmm.
all.
Yeah, I remember my son had once said that he wants to be a chef. And then, like,
Yes,
maybe a week later or something, he goes, no, he wants to be a farmer. And he's like, but
that's
mommy, I can't
okay.
do the two things. It's like, no, you can be a farmer
You
chef.
can. Yes,
Hello.
there you go.
And I wanted to just show this comment in particular from Tina. It is clearly she saw the breadcrumbs. She saw the
Yes.
breadcrumbs. I think Sandy ended up giving up and just went to bed. But yeah, so you guys have you have Fel's email, so you can
Yes.
feel free to reach out to her. I want to encourage you all to also join the Island Mom community by searching for us on Facebook if you haven't already. I have to make a statement. We try and protect our virtual village as best as possible. So it is imperative that when you are asking to join Island Mom that you actually fill out the questions that are presented to you. Otherwise we won't bring you into the fold because we
Yes.
have to protect the community. So if you want to join, feel free, find us, just search for the Island Mom group on Facebook, but fill out the questions.
Yes.
Um, is there anything else you want to end on, Phil, before we
No,
start?
I really want to encourage all the mummies. I believe it's just mummies here, to continue to be the awesome moms you are. Let me tell you, there's no perfect mom. We're all learning on this journey. Don't feel judged at all. Don't allow other people to judge you. Just keep doing the best that you possibly can and love your children, accept your children for who they are, and listen, cut yourself some slacks and set goals for yourself. Take time to self care. That's so important. Not just to sleep, but do sleep well. But self care, take care of yourself. Let me tell you, there's no love in sacrificing oneself, right? So if you're just going, there's just no love because your children need you. If you're just on your feet all the time and you're not taking a minute to just breathe, you need to fill up in order to fill them up. So yeah,
Wow,
that's
I
what I
want
want to
to.
leave.
Woo, you took us to church tonight, Phil.
I'm
I
glad.
want to. I think this might be. I think this is a call for you to probably offer Sean Ann a few tips because she's not feeling so good. I think by
Okay.
having her vision board up and not getting things ticked off. So what would your advice be for her?
Let me tell you, if you remember, I just want you to remember all the steps that we went through. It's great to have your vision board, but if you're not doing anything with it, it can feel depressing. It can feel sad. But one thing I want to recognize is sometimes we may have these plans for ourselves, and they may not be the right plans for us. And we have to pivot along the way.
Mm,
It is okay to pivot. It's not like you have failed, but what it means is that you have come this far. Sorry, you've learned a couple of things and you have to make a decision based on where you are in the road. There's a Y in the road and you must go left or you must go right. You have to choose the next steps for yourself and what helps and works for your family. So now if your vision board is not working for you, reevaluate the things that you put on it. And it's okay to reevaluate. Right? And then do another. Listen, we can start the year in the middle of the year. COVID sucked and brought us many things, and they're just, we can set our own rules. Why not? So
Exactly.
reset. Press your reset button. It's okay. Right? It's okay. And trust me, if you take all the steps, that I gave you, and if you just hit me up in an email, I'll send you some tips as well, to just kind of take yourself to the next level. So send me an email, tell me you heard me on Island Mom and you just want to know
Or on
what
Brunswick.
tips. Or there you go. Or on Brunswick.
Or from the Brunswick family. Yes. Fel, I want to thank you so much. Tonight has been so motivating for me as well. I mean, awesome. I have my goals, I have my things written down, and I think we do get caught up in what Shannon had just mentioned too. When we don't see those check boxes go off, one of my tips, and this is something that I have used, and I'm very open with my personal struggles with anxiety and depression as well, is for me, it's helpful to keep a done list.
Yes.
So the things that we want to do, look here, my to-do list is like pages long.
Yes.
But I keep track of the things I get done. Even if it's something that's so small, it motivates me, it keeps me focused, it makes me realize that I'm actually I'm going, I'm progressing.
And you know what, Anika? Celebrate those wins. Even if they're small, celebrate them.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a glass of wine or a chocolate cake. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Do something to celebrate your wins.
Shannon, I hope you're listening, that you are going to celebrate those things that you have been. If you have a living room with the vision board up, that's something to celebrate as well, eh?
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you saw some breadcrumbs tonight.
Yay.
That's amazing. I want to thank you so much, Fel. Thank you so much for tonight. It has been wonderful. Before you go, let me just plug our upcoming mom show this weekend. We're going to be focusing on how conflict helps you grow with conflict resolution coach Ayano Miguel out of Trinidad and Tobago. But for tonight, Fel, thank you so much. It has been wonderful.
Thank you for having me, Anika. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us. Once again, big up to Brunswick and big up to the Island Moms who joined us tonight. You'll be able to catch the replay of this. You will also be able to view it on our YouTube channel, as well as go through the slew of previous episodes, which have all been great. So thank you once again. Have a good night, guys. And we're gonna say good night, and I'm gonna put up your placeholder, Fel.
Thank you.